The Three-Fifths Compromise was one of the more interesting compromises in the convention. In general, you would think as northern people, northern states, and the people would want slaves to be counted or thought of as people. And in the South, you would think that slaves were considered property. But in this compromise, and because it's politics and because it's self-interest, the things were kind of reversed. Number one, northern states wanted the slaves to count as property, not as people. Slaves as property would be taxed more, and also if they were not people, then the representation would be down. The southern states wanted the exact opposite. They wanted slaves to be counted as a person to help them with representation in the House. This was the opposite of what each side believed in, but it was true to their political needs. Each slave in the compromise was to be counted as three-fifths of a person for representation, so it did help the southern states, but is not as much as counting as a full person. And for tax purposes, it reduced the burden of the taxes on slave states. Slavery was not mentioned in the Constitution except for here and in the slave trade. So this was really one of the only few mentions of slavery in the Constitution. It was also amended by the 13th Amendment, which basically gave rights to slaves and ended the Three-Fifths Compromise.